Exercise is great for every aspect of health, just not weight loss. In fact, exercise only makes you hungrier and causes what's known as the compensation effect, where you justify eating more after you exercise. Not only that, but as you're about to see, studies done on the Hadza hunter-gatherers of Namibia have proven that exercise doesn't actually increase your metabolism any more than someone sitting at a desk all day. The fact is, you can't outrun your hormones. You're about to discover why most people fail to lose any weight and learn 3 ways to shed pounds without stepping into a gym or following a strict diet. The reality is, your hormones play a huge part in weight loss, and until you understand this, getting lean will be tough. In fact, one particular hormone, when out of balance, has been found to make people eat an extra 1,687 calories per day. That's nearly a full day's worth of food. I'll get to that in a minute. First off, let's look at the profound impact that simply improving sleep quality can affect hormonal weight loss. Most people are really surprised to learn that when you're sleep deprived, your body reacts by producing more ghrelin, the hormone that drives hunger. Have you noticed that after a late night, the next day you feel more hunger and snack more? This is because your ghrelin levels are way up, making you feel hungry. But it gets worse. Ghrelin makes us crave high-calorie foods. If you've ever binged on a bag of cookies after a late night, you know what I mean. The end result is we tend to consume more calories than we actually need, which leads to fat storage. I know hearing someone tell you how to sleep better might sound boring, but there are some easy changes that actually work. Get up early and immediately go outside and get the morning light in your eyes. By doing this, you help the brain set its internal clock and start to build up levels of melatonin, which will make you tired later. Install a blue light blocking app on all your devices, as blue light at night really messes up sleep. Even minimal light from a mobile phone can disrupt the sleep cycle. Temperature is also important. Keep your room cool, as a drop in temperature tells your body it's time to get ready for sleep. In ancient times, our ancestors got their sleep and wake cues from the sun, so it's really quite logical. In fact, we can learn a lot from studying hunter-gatherer tribes who still live much like our ancestors did. A fascinating piece of research done by Herman Ponce on the Hadza people in Namibia, Africa, a surviving group of hunter-gatherers, shockingly showed that these very active people didn't burn any more calories a day than someone sitting at desk jobs in the US. Let that sink in for a moment. We are told that losing weight is all about burning more calories through exercise, but is this really true? This research used advanced techniques to monitor the energy expenditure of the Hadza and found that despite their active lifestyles of hunting for food, they burn nearly the same calories as sedentary individuals in developed nations. This implies that our bodies are designed to control daily calorie burn, regardless of physical activity. Let me explain. When we exercise intensely, the body switches to energy-saving mode, burning fewer calories at rest to maintain equilibrium. The body is basically designed to make sure we don't starve to death. It's a built-in survival mechanism. The truth is that people worldwide generally burn around 2,000 to 3,000 calories daily, regardless of their lifestyle. Thus, while exercise offers health benefits and certain types can speed up fat burning, it's not super effective when it comes to lasting weight loss. A much smarter approach is looking at how the foods you eat affect the brain, messing with hormones and leading to overeating. This is done through processed foods that affect our brain's reward system. These foods are designed to be incredibly delicious, triggering a flood of dopamine, that feel-good hormone. This rush of dopamine can lead to cravings and overeating as your brain responds to that enjoyable experience. But the human brain isn't designed to constantly get overwhelmed with these pleasurable responses from processed foods, day in and day out. What happens? Much like how a drug user needs more each time to get the same feeling, people eat more and more processed foods as their brains get hooked. This rush of dopamine can lead to cravings and overeating as your brain responds to that enjoyable experience. Supporting this notion, another fascinating study revealed that rats, when tasting sugar, released dopamine. However, blocking dopamine eliminated this preference for sugar. This suggests our food cravings and choices may be influenced by how certain foods stimulate dopamine release in our brains. If the thought of polishing off an entire tub of ice cream excites you, you most likely experience this. The key point here is processed foods can lead to addictive behaviors, making us eat more calories than we should. So the obvious answer is to replace them with better options such as whole foods, which are packed with fiber, protein, and healthy fat, which slow digestion and keep blood sugar levels steady. They offer a consistent release of dopamine without causing an overwhelming surge that leads to cravings. So when you choose whole foods over processed ones, you're setting your body up for better hormonal balance and weight management without needing intense workouts or restrictive diets. While replacing processed food with whole ones is crucial for weight management, it's equally important to consider other factors like stress that can affect our hormonal balance and weight. I'm sure you've probably heard a million times over how bad stress is, so I don't want to bang on that drum too much here. However, understanding how stress can mess up hormones leading to eating an extra 1,687 calories a day, causing belly fat, is important to know. Stress increases levels of the hormone cortisol, which can increase due to various reasons like poor sleep, too much caffeine, or low blood sugar. One study involving 20 healthy men gave one group glucocorticoids, these hormones which are released during times of stress. The research revealed that glucocorticoids boosted energy expenditure and food intake when participants followed a regular diet. But get this, those consuming glucocorticoids consumed an extra 1,687 calories daily compared to those on a placebo. This illustrates that stress hormones can heighten hunger and calorie intake. But there's more. High cortisol sets off a process called lipogenesis. This is the conversion of dietary fats and carbs into stored body fat, which none of us want. Cortisol has a knack for storing fat around the belly because it has more cortisol receptors compared to other parts of your body. So how do we tackle this issue? One effective method is through stress management techniques like meditation or prayer. These activities help decrease cortisol by initiating your body's relaxation response, which neutralizes the stress response that elevates cortisol levels. Both meditation and prayer activate the parasympathetic nervous system. This is the section of your nervous system responsible for rest and digest. By incorporating these practices regularly, you're cultivating an internal environment that's less prone to abdominal fat storage. In addition to managing stress and improving dietary habits, it's also important to consider how everyday household items might be hindering your weight loss journey. Environmental toxins can mess with our hormones and contribute to weight gain. They're found in everyday items like plastic containers, canned foods, personal care products, and even on non-organic produce. A Canadian study made a fascinating discovery about one of these toxins, bisphenol A or BPA. The researchers found that adults with higher levels of BPA in their urine were more likely to be obese. This was true even after considering factors like diet. The data showed that as the level of BPA increased, so did a person's body fat and waist size. When these toxins mess with your hormones, you might notice symptoms like unexplained weight gain, fatigue, mood swings, or difficulty sleeping. But don't worry, you can limit your exposure to these toxins by making simple changes, like using glass or stainless steel containers instead of plastic ones. Opt for organic produce to avoid pesticides and switch to natural personal care products free from harmful chemicals. Restoring hormonal balance isn't just about managing stress or eating right. Detoxifying your body from these toxins is another crucial step. But it's important to note that detoxification should be done under the guidance of a healthcare professional. However, by making simple changes like increasing fiber intake and staying hydrated, this can facilitate gentle detoxification, which in turn supports fat loss. A further important aspect for weight loss and hormones is the health of our gut. Our gut bacteria play a crucial role in managing hormones that control appetite and metabolism. These microscopic inhabitants can manipulate the production of hunger hormones like ghrelin and leptin hormones that signal you've had enough and to stop eating. Additionally, if your gut turns permeable or leaky, it gives a free pass to undigested food particles and toxins to infiltrate your bloodstream, which leads to inflammation, disrupts hormonal imbalance, and ultimately makes fat loss an uphill battle, despite maintaining healthy eating habits. A study conducted in 2008 revealed that obese individuals exhibited significant alterations in their gut microbiota. So, what's the solution? Consider integrating probiotics into your daily regimen. Probiotics are beneficial bacteria that can help re-establish a healthy balance in your gut microbiome. Foods abundant in probiotics include yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, among other fermented foods. Prebiotics also play a vital role in maintaining gut health, as they serve as nourishment for the beneficial bacteria residing in your gut. Foods rich in prebiotics encompass garlic, onions, leeks, asparagus, and bananas. Moreover, cutting down on processed foods and sugars can help curb the overgrowth of harmful bacteria. And don't forget to keep yourself hydrated. Water facilitates digestion and fosters a healthy gut environment. This leads us to the importance of hydration for weight loss. This all boils down to two key hormones we've discussed before, ghrelin and leptin. When your body is lacking water, it can misinterpret thirst signals as hunger pangs, leading to an increase in ghrelin levels and triggering your appetite. Conversely, a lack of hydration can disrupt leptin's function of signaling to your brain that you're satiated, resulting in overeating. Another non-exercise strategy for weight loss is mindful eating. It's not just a trendy term, it's a potent strategy that can balance your hormones and support fat loss. Essentially, mindful eating is about being fully engaged and conscious of what you're consuming, when you're consuming it, and the quantity you're consuming. One technique is prepping your meals ahead of time, ideally the night before. This creates definitive guidelines for your upcoming day's meals and assists in curbing impulsive snacking. Two primary hormones play a role here, ghrelin and leptin. As we discussed already, ghrelin alerts our brain when it's time to eat, leptin tells our brain we've had enough. Mindless eating can disrupt this delicate equilibrium, causing us to misread these signals, which results in overeating. An additional piece of advice is to restrict eating to designated meal times and ensure you're seated while doing so. Eating on the move or at a buffet can trigger overeating, as we may not accurately gauge the amount or quality of food we're ingesting. By adopting mindful eating habits, we enable these hormones to operate correctly, which helps us feel content with less food, ultimately supporting fat loss. So bear in mind, it's not solely about what you consume, but also how you consume it. Therefore, as you can see, there are many strategies for losing weight that aren't reliant on exercise. In fact, there are even specific drinks that you can easily make at home that affect hormones and weight loss too. To learn what these are, watch the video on the screen now.